Welcome to Atlas 3519, Universal Design for Digital Media. I'm Howard Kramer, the instructor for this course. Kathy Walbin, who is also listed as the instructor on the syllabus, will also provide some of the lectures for the course. However, questions and any correspondence about the class should be directed to me at hkramer@colorado.edu. I'm going to spend the next few minutes describing the structure and logistics of the course and briefly reviewing the syllabus. Then in the first module of the course, Introduction to Universal Design, Who Are We Designing For and Why, we're going to review the features and applications of universal design and the demographics of the audiences for which we're designing. The focus of this class, you should be aware of by now, is universal design. If you turn to the syllabus, which I suggest you do now, located under Content, Course Introductions, you'll see that it states on the syllabus under Course Description that this course will examine the standards and methods for designing websites which are not only accessible for persons with disabilities, but also effective and usable across a spectrum of user abilities and backgrounds and the variety of device platforms. This course will review standards for usability and accessibility, focusing on the concepts of universal design, web standards, and accessibility best practices. As it states in the course description, we'll be using a short ebook in PDF format called Universal Design for Digital Media, which I authored. This will be supplemented with web resources and excerpts of texts from digital media and accessibility experts, along with video lectures. Topics to be covered include HTML standards, structured and semantic web design, user-centered design, mobile accessibility, and validation tools, among other topics. You will synthesize the concepts of universal design and web standards in order to address the issues that occur at the nexus of the needs of persons with disabilities, usability concepts, and mobile web access. At the conclusion of this course, you should have the foundation to design websites which are accessible, inclusive, usable, and search engine friendly. There are a number of benefits to this approach. They are, and this is a mantra we'll be using throughout the course, designing according to universal design and principles, and designing for accessibility also makes our web pages and media more effective for all users. For mobile internet users, for different browsers, different operating systems, and different demographics. Some of these concepts, accessibility, universal design, web standards, may be terms that are new to you. We will spend more time defining these terms, so don't panic if you don't understand them at this point. We'll be defining and discussing these terms and concepts repeatedly. Let's now scroll down to the next section of the syllabus. You'll see that the specific objectives for this course are as follows, and that as you progress through this course, you'll be able to apply the theories of cognition and design to evaluate the effectiveness and accessibility of websites. Be able to recognize the usability and accessibility issues of the diverse spectrum of web users. Be capable of describing the methods for applying universal design concepts to web design. Be able to use specific coding techniques for building accessible and usable web pages. Implement evaluation tools and techniques for evaluating the effectiveness and accessibility of websites. Learn to apply best practices for planning and preparing the design of a website. And finally, learn to design websites from a user-centered and universal design perspective. The only text required for this course is Universal Design for Digital Media. You can download this ebook for free directly from this link in the syllabus or any place in the course where the book is referenced. As mentioned, all other reading assignments will be from the web or excerpts from books posted on D2L. Grades will be determined by assignments, including the coding of web pages, that will comprise 64% of your grade. The final project will comprise 30% of your grade, and responses to other students' work 6%. You can find the assignments for each module at the bottom of each module. You can also find the assignments needed to be completed before starting a module at the top of each module. I mentioned coding of web pages above. This is a good time to talk about the minimum technical prerequisites for this course. Some experience either directly coding HTML or creating web pages through tools such as Dreamweaver or Coder is strongly recommended. It is also recommended that you have taken Atlas Digital Media 1 or an equivalent. As I mentioned in the first news item of the course, the coding assignments for the class are relatively basic, and except for the final project, templates are provided. Nevertheless, if you do not have experience with direct HTML and CSS coding, you may want to take some free introductory coding tutorials at treehouse.com or codeacademy.com. At codeacademy.com, I recommend taking the track on Web Fundamentals. At Treehouse, I recommend the first 3 tutorials under Learning Adventures. Become a web designer, become a web developer, learn HTML and CSS. At this point in a classroom version of this course, I would go around the room and ask everyone to introduce themselves. Since we can't do this live, your first assignment will be to create a 1-minute video to introduce yourself, identifying your major, your web design and coding experience, the reason for taking the course, one thing you'd like to learn from the course, and also mention outside of academics or work, one thing you like to do as a hobby or in your leisure. The instructions for posting this video are provided at the bottom of Module 1. Other items related to class protocols and university policies, classroom behavior, in our case virtual classroom behavior, on code, etc., I'll let you read on your own in the Policies tab of the syllabus. Just let me point out that the behavior online should mirror expected behavior in the classroom. In other words, it should be respectful, or even more so since everything you say or write is on record. Finally, if you find any part of this course inaccessible because of a disability or any other reason, please let me know and I will try to rectify the problem. By the time you view this video, it should be captioned along with the other videos used in the course. As a first lesson in universal design, try turning on captions for the videos you watch. Do you find that captions help you stay engaged and follow the recording? A note about the other videos you'll find in this course. Some of them were created for the term-based version. Ignore any due dates that you encounter. I suggest you now read through the rest of the syllabus and then proceed to the first module. I look forward to working with you over the next few months.